Okay, everybody, we're going to be solving radical equations today. So I'm going to pause it real quick and make sure my microphone's working. All right, back at it. So there's your objective, pretty simple. I'll just let you read that. All right, the steps are pretty simple. Excuse me. Isolate the radical. Raise both sides of the equation to the power equal to the index of the radical. Since that's a cube root of x, we're going to cube both sides. And then simplify both sides. The cube root and the cube cancel each other out. Just leaves you with x, and 2 to the third power leaves you with 8. Okay? The very first step, they just added 2 to both sides to get the second equation. Just remember, square root might have a 2 in it, but it might just be imaginary. So those two expressions are the same. Okay, step 1, get the radical by itself, so subtract 5 from both sides. Step 2, square both sides. Well, excuse me. Do 16 minus 5 to get 11, but now square both sides. All right, the square root and the square cancel each other out, leaves you x plus 1. 11 squared is 121. Now just subtract 1 from both sides. Now guys, over here, we're not going to talk a ton about extraneous solutions, but when you check your work, when you check your work, you can find out if you have an extraneous solution or not, which means a solution that doesn't really work. All right, example 2. Okay, guys, you got to get the radical by itself. So the 7 that's in front of the radical, it's got to go. So you divide. Okay, those 7s cancel out, and you're left with the radical on one side and 12 on the other side. Now we're going to cube both sides because that's a cube root. The cube root and the cube cancel each other out, leaves you 5x minus 7. 12 to the third power is a really big number. Now solve it like you know how to do, have been doing since Algebra 1. Add 7 and divide by 5. I need to see if I can move this down a little bit. There we go. Okay, that'll be better. All right, sorry about that. All right, now we got a radical on both sides. I cannot isolate the radical on the right side that has the 3 in front of it because that'll just mess up the radical on the other side. But I can square both sides. Just be careful when you square both sides that you square the 3 and get rid of the radical over there. So watch what we get here. Excuse me. Okay, the square and the square root on the left side are going to cancel each other out. The square on the right side is going to make the 3 become a 9, and it's going to cancel out with the other square root. So look at that closely. Okay. Now I'm going to distribute the 9. Now I'm going to get the x's on one side. Subtract 7x from both sides and add 18 to both sides. Then divide by 20. Okay. Here we're going to cube both sides. Remember, the cube and the cube root are going to cancel each other out, but the 2, right here, the 2, it's going to be cubed and it's going to turn into 8. But this cube root and the cube are going to go away, and this cube root over here and the cube are going to go away. Now we're going to distribute the 8. Now we're going to get the x's on one side by subtracting x. We're going to add 8 to both sides, and we get 7x equals 14. And then x equals 2. Okay.
Morning, North Paulding High School. Today is Tuesday, November the